Hello, everyone, and welcome to Red Valkyrie Presents. I'm, of course, Shae the Red with my awesome co-host, Cyborg Valkyrie. How you doing, Cy?
Good, sitting in the middle of a metal and electric wind turbine.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And, of course, we have our awesome guest, Aaron. How are you doing, Aaron?
Hail, nerds. What's up, everybody? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Super excited. So this was an interesting one. If you guys don't notice, obviously we're an hour later than we would normally be. That would be because, Shae had issues. And so here we are. It's a thing. We're just gonna roll with it. But before we get into the amazing campaign that we are here for, Sai, would you like to do the cosplay reveal?
Sure. Scrolling.
Metamorphosis completed, sir.
Shae the Red
Has now become
awesome.
Boom!
Whoa. Nice. Very cool.
Thank you. I have cursed a lot today.
Shae, can you shrink down a little in your seat so we can actually see the top?
Oh, there we go.
It's the whole thing. It's really hard. Oh, and this is popping up.
Ah!
I have one hand free, so I can actually, do the thing.
Type
But
and
whatever.
Use your mouse.
Small things that, so
Love
I don't
it.
get blue paint everywhere.
That is terrific.
But obviously, we are here for Immortal Rising, which this just looks so cool.
Thank you.
Aaron, why don't you tell us a little bit about what this story is?
Sure. It's two stories. The main story is 34 pages and centers around 5 strangers who are thrust together into a war that they have no idea what's going on, and in a foreign land. So, and what they have to do is survive. Not only the war and the land that they're in, full of monsters, but they also have to survive each other because they are very different. And they have to take a quick course in getting along to meet that goal of staying alive.
Awesome.
And then the second story is a 10-page one, and that one centers on if the main story is the first level group, the secondary story is like the 99th level group. It's we follow the story of 2 gods as they are fighting in this war, this great war.
Okay. Wow. You got like
Look at
zombie
that.
dudes. See, I should have cosplayed this guy here with his eye popping out. That's the one I should have gone for.
That'd have been
Missed opportunity.
no way.
No, the funny thing is, I'm not gonna lie, I was scrolling through and I was like, oh look, he has a redhead. I could cosplay her. And then I scrolled down a little further and I was like, I want to cosplay.
Wait a
that
minute.
girl.
Doesn't she remarkably look like the background version of you that we have on the screen in the background right now?
Yeah, she looks very similar. Very similar to my alter ego. And seeing this, I'm like, yeah, that's a little too close to home. That's me.
Yeah. Well, see, I was wondering when somebody mentioned cosplay, I was like, I wonder if she's going to do Lorelei or even a female. So that was pretty cool that you chose the Empress, though. I like it.
I mean, look at her. She looks so cool. I had to try, and it didn't turn out exactly how I wanted, but you know what? Good enough.
Yeah.
When Shae was discussing what cosplay she wanted to do with me, the second she looked at the redhead, she's like, the outfit looks too simple. This would be a cop-out. So what else can I do?
Yeah.
Paint half my body blue and build a gigantic headpiece is apparently what I settled on.
You know what, Shae? There's one other thing. I'm going to switch our layout real quick. There's one other thing. Lean really close and look directly in the camera, please.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I went all out. I was
Yeah.
like, I wonder if my contacts will go in easily today.
Oh, man.
And they
That's
did.
so cool.
That it was meant to be. The thing is, I usually give contacts 3 times, and if they don't work after the 3rd time, I was like, nope, we're not doing them today. And you know what? Time 2.
There we go.
Never goes that easy. Never. So I was like, well, clearly I was meant to have these in so I would look closer to the actual character.
Good sign.
Yeah, no, this is really cool. So obviously you got Jose Garcia, who is a phenomenal artist.
Yeah.
Really like his style, but you've got what just seems like really kind of fun and a little over the top ridiculous, but just really entertaining stories.
So it's the way I like to think. I guess I could describe it is it's the dark fantasy of Castlevania meets the epic fantasy of Final Fantasy. So if those two had a child, it would be Immortal Rising.
Very nice.
The story is dark and epic. You know, I should say the environment is dark, and the story is epic. So, it meshes really well. And with Jose's art style, you know, his animation background, and even though it looks anime or it looks manga or whatever, but it's very much just Jose's style. So
yeah, he's got a really distinct. You can usually tell if Jose's had a hand in anything. Like our background, the ones that we have. For the background of our show are Jose.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but it looked familiar.
Yeah, your size over here trying to think about it. You know, the best part is how your eyes are peeking through between me and Aaron in the background, and just looking off the eyes, you can go, yeah, that's clearly Jose.
Yeah, exactly.
Like those are Jose eyes.
Well, and one of the things I really love about his art choices in this one is his, just dynamic storyboarding is always, I mean, he uses up the page so beautifully, and then like his composition and all that stuff, but also the colors. Like, this is not the colors that you find in a usual fantasy comic,
Yeah, and in all honesty, I think it's Jose's oversaturated color palette that I adore, because it makes me, like, he tells really fucked up, scary, weird, creepy ass stories. But he does it with like these really bright, happy colors that people normally are like, oh, that's what I would put in my kid's nursery. I did for his Lumina Vox. Mm-hmm. I did a painted piece, and my mom loved it with the pastel background and everything, but it had these fucking nasty looking hands creeping up trying to grab the girl, and a bunch of eyeballs like coming down, and she's like, I just really like it. I think it's really nice. Yeah, that yeah.
Oh, there we go.
And my mom was like, I think it's beautiful. I'm like, I knew I was your daughter, because I really liked this too, and was like, I think it turned out great. And she's like, it's so pretty. I'm like,
it is.
I don't feel like most people would say pretty.
Yeah, hellscape. I mean, but yeah,
like, it's such a pretty nightmare that I never want to be in. So beautiful.
I mean, that's the way Jose can do it.
Yep.
His art or his color ideas are just great.
Yeah,
and it's really cool because you can follow his color choice is very thematic through, like, it matches the theme of the story going through. So it's you start off at the beginning of the story getting to know everybody, getting to meet them. So everything's bright and everything's fine, and then as the story progresses, it gets darker and more purples, and it's really cool.
Well, and I also love the way that it really kind of differentiates between, like, up here we've got normal world, right?
Yeah.
Like, normal for them world,
right.
Regular, dealing with your day-to-day shit, and then you start to get here and you're like, something's a little off.
Yeah, right.
Like, not really sure
panel,
what.
I would love to make that panel a poster, like that would be cool on a wall,
Okay, all right. I'm sorry, guys, if you're watching. I have to do it because I always do. I'm a merch whore. Like, I love merchandise so much. If you had this without the speech bubbles, and you did it as an all-over print shirt where this was asymmetrical, so It had him off to the side, and then it went across with all of these pastels and these really pretty colors and everything, I feel like that would be so fire.
Are you talking about what's on the screen right now?
Yes.
Now, if you put that onto like a deep maroon or wine-colored shirt, that'd be awesome.
Well, that's the thing is, I would match probably the darkest color up here, or maybe one of the purples kind of throughout here.
Yeah.
That's purple.
Yeah. And like I would cut it literally. And I'm sorry, this is Shae getting into the nitty gritty because you know that I love
No, I
to
like
do
it.
this shit.
I'm
But
taking notes.
if you cut it right here, I'll tell you what, send me this without the letters on it, and
Yeah.
I'll mock you up what I'm talking about.
She
But
designs
crazy.
merch
That'd be
for
fun.
people. So
I do, and I normally do it for a fee, but at the same time, when I see really pretty things that I want to buy and I want to exist in the world, I'm like, but if we did it this way, I'll give you this one.
make this so I can own it.
Yes, if you could just agree that you should have this printed, and then I will buy it.
You may be onto something. I like it because there's a few different pictures that
That
people
one.
have been like, oh
This-
my god,
I love that one.
This would be gorgeous on the back of like a hoodie or something, or yeah. Mm-hmm. Just
And
because
she looks like such a pirate.
She looks like such a bitch. I love her.
She looks like how I would want to look in that universe.
Yeah.
She's very much Dami mommy. So she,
Well,
she is an empress.
I didn't get that at all. Never got that vibe.
She's like she's the empress
Yeah.
of an entire empire
Of whatever the fuck she wants to be.
Yeah, of whatever she wants. Yeah,
Damn straight.
She will step
Look at
on
her.
you,
There's
and
only
you will
one
be
above her.
honored for the
Right.
stepping.
I'm just saying, the second I painted myself blue and had yellow eyes, I was like, I own everything. Whatever the fuck I want, I own it now. If I went out like this and was like, give me a fucking
gonna
Big
say.
Mac, they'd be like,
Ma'am, you're at a Wendy's, but we'll do our best.
they're like, we'll make it work. Go to McDonald's right now. Go get her a Big Mac. I don't know why she came to Wendy's, but look at her. She's gonna burn this place down.
She's
Like,
blue.
yes. I just couldn't show them the other arm because then they'd be like, illusion's broken. If I keep this arm up and I'm like, get me a Big Mac, they'd be like, oh my gosh, we're so sorry.
Yep, that's how they do it.
But see, you have so many things that are just so striking, and the color palettes that are so cool. And this is all stuff that like, these are things that I want to own and I want to wear. I'm one of those people that my wardrobe has like 3 speeds, right? I've got the professional, I'm at work and they freak out if I have too many like studs or holes or chains, so I have to pretend that I am normal. And then I have my like punk rock gothic rocker, biker style of like leather and black and whatever. But then I have this weird third style that is give me all the saturation and all of the bright colors, and I understand I look like a psycho person and I'm totally okay with it. And that's what this is hitting for me. I'm like, I want this in a t-shirt. I want the other one in a I want all the t-shirts.
Yeah.
And I want them all to be just super saturated colors like this.
Yeah, Jose's work will do that to you.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, what else can I do with all this stuff? Yeah, for sure. I mean, like maybe in the future, I will be doing shirts and stuff like that. I've tried it, but I don't know. I don't know how to do it cost effectively. So
We will talk.
yeah, right.
We will talk. I will help you out with that. Also, this dude in the back that's kind of like floating with his gigantic ass swords.
Hell yeah.
That is just screaming to be made into some kind of a figure
No, just
at
wait.
some point.
Just wait. You'll see him here in a couple of pages. And,
Oh, jeez.
yeah, there we go. There he is.
Yeah, he needs to be a figurine.
That's another one. Somebody was like, "Dude, that's a shirt. You got to put that on a shirt. I'd buy it." So
Yep. Yeah.
so, another one.
I'm just saying, send me a couple of these high res photos, and I'll mock you up some stuff. 'Cause yeah, that would also be a badass shirt, like for sure.
Yeah, actually, Chris Fisk was using that on the ad. He made up an ad for me, and
Nice.
that was one of the images he had to use. So I was like, good choice.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's kind of hard to have a bad choice because you've got. It seems like you've created a really interesting, intricate world, and
A
then
lot going on. Yeah.
put a really talented artist on it, and was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Go ham, bro!" And he was like, "I got you."
There was a lot of that actually. So I had, speaking of, so this here is a side by side. I have a first version of it done by a different artist. That he was busy making it when I met Jose, and so then because I had done the main story and I found an artist, and He's an amateur because originally the book was just going to be for like me and my tabletop buddies kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And as I got into it, I was like, no, I got to go bigger with this. I got to do something that people will buy, that people will want. And anyway, so I was waiting for all of the work to come back, and I wanted to keep momentum on the story, in the development. It felt like it had stalled. So I was like, maybe I could come up with a quick story, find another artist, and and crack something out. Well, I was going through one of the Facebook groups or ArtStation or something like that, and I found Jose. It was just a couple pieces, and it was medieval, fantasy kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, that's very unique art. Let me see, if I can even, talk to him, see if he's interested in doing sequentials, because not everybody can do sequentials, which I found out. And so,
very true.
And so I talked to him, and he's like, oh yeah, definitely. Let's do it. It's 10 pages. So I was expecting it was going to be a month or two or something. And he cracked it out in a week. A week later, he gets back to me. He goes, here you go. Is this what you like? And I'm looking through it. I'm like, this is perfect, dude. So,
well, and this really goes a long way to show, and this isn't to dog on your original artist at all, but having the experience in ways to lay out pages so it's eye-catching, the layouts are one of the hardest parts. And so looking at, this is a very standard kind of comic book page, and I totally understand breaking it down like this. You can kind of get the emotions of the people, but since this is, in all honesty, these are like boring things that are happening right now. As somebody who's in the military, right? It's boring as hell to watch somebody address the troops.
Yeah, right.
It just is. Everyone's just standing there, usually at attention, and one person's going on a diatribe about how important all of this is, and it gets dull. So while yes, you could break it up so you could see the individual faces, there's nothing to see. Nothing's happening, right? So having
it's also worse being outside.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Especially in the summer.
In the fucking sun. At attention, and then people drop, and they're like, why is everyone falling out? Because it's fucking 89 degrees outside.
We're in denim and long sleeve shirts and fucking baseball caps, and it's 106 degrees in the hottest Chicago summer on record in 20 years.
No, you're talking about Great Lakes, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah, so, also with this, I'll say, I wrote it up the first time, being new to making comics and all this stuff, and then met Jose. We did the 10-page story together, and then I don't know, a good year goes by, and I tried I think a Kickstarter. It didn't go well. I'm like, dude, I need to build a network or something. Nobody knows I exist. And anyways, just kind of talking with him, and he's like, hey, have you heard of Comicsgate and CG and all this other stuff, and Bancroft, and so, I checked that out. I was like, wow, this is great. This is a really cool group of people and all this stuff. So, I started paying attention to Comicsgate stuff and all that. I didn't even have a Twitter yet. So, just some more time went by, a little bit more time. And I had Jose do issue 2 for me. But so I already have 2 issues of this. And,
nice.
And so after he had done the second one, I'm like, there's no way I can sell the first version and Jose's work together. It's, I need continuity of work, consistency. So I was like, will you just redo issue 1 for me? So I rewrote it and cleaned it up, and plus with his
streamlined certain things and all that.
And plus with his storyboarding ability, he he'll add a panel or remove a panel or combine panels whenever he likes. And usually,
seeing
99% of the time it's perfect. So
seeing this side by side is a huge difference in emotion, because this is little tiny trickle of blood, still kind of looking smug and okay, whatever, sort of thing, and then off she goes with her command. Whereas this one is, you done got fucked up and humbled, and now she's pissed. Right. And so when she's hitting up like, all right, everybody, we're fucking doing this. Like, now she's like, and if you don't do exactly what I tell you to do, everyone's dying. I want you to know this. Like, she seems, it amps that level and that intensity up so much.
Yeah, I like it. I agree.
It's a really small change, but that's like having those kinds of creative changes are paramount to good storytelling, especially when you're working in a visual medium, because you can be stagnant. And in some instances, that's preferred. In some instances, that's better. Because if you're thinking of it like a movie, if somebody's, doing like the nod, like, oh yeah, don't worry, this is going to go down a certain way. Like having that little moment where you kind of see the smirk and you go, oh, they know exactly what's going on. They're going to fuck some shit up. Like you want that. But in other instances, you want that intensity. So I love seeing both of them and how it just drastically changes this entire page.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. Just seeing the chat. Yeah, Gordon, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Joe's got a great voice, so I'll take
Joe's in a band too, so like, hey.
Isn't he a singer?
I think he's the singer. I'm pretty sure it's either singer or guitar, but I'm pretty sure he's singer.
Yeah. I've been told I should do voiceover or voice acting work.
You should.
I'm okay with that. If anybody's looking for somebody like me, go for it. Name me.
you should look at VCX, which is the like voice acting website where you can like read audiobooks or do voice acting for like small animated things and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, see, that sounds like fun. Damn
yeah.
It. I know I have to do it.
I try it. Nobody likes my voice, so. They're like, oh, if I was looking for a girl that sounds kind of like a dude, I might hit up Shae. I'm like, cool, thank you.
You do not sound like a dude in any way.
I get accused of it more often than not, and my mother is worse than me. People sir her on the phone. She's like, whatever the fuck you were just selling, you just lost whatever sell you might have potentially
your mom
had.
was a smoker for many years.
Okay, that's fair.
That has an effect, yeah.
But I still don't think she sounds like a dude. Anyway, I digress. My mom's awesome. Yeah, I love kind of what all of this is looking like like the story that it's gonna tell. And normally I don't go in for the shorter stories. Like I'll go in for anthologies sometimes, but I usually go into anthologies expecting them to be terrible.
Oh, okay.
And shorter stories I'm a little apprehensive about, but the only reason is it is very difficult to tell a good and effective story in a smaller page count. You said this is 32?
So the main story is 34.
Okay.
And then the supplemental story, the one with the gods, is 10. So together it's 44 sequential pages, yeah.
Got you. So 34 is a good amount. When people try to introduce you to a whole new cast of characters and world and everything, and they're like, I'm doing it in 22 pages. I'm like, no, you're not.
Well, see, and that's one of the things that, writing this, I had to really consider is, well, for one, I wanted it to feel like a fantasy novel, but be a comic book. And so I had to really play with how much exposition do I want to put in there. Like I want everybody to kind of understand what's going on, but not go on to where I bore people. Because some people love rich exposition. They love the lore, and it really gets in, they get into it, all this stuff, and others don't, So I tried to find a good balance to where I gave just enough to keep the story moving. And I think I did a good job. So
cool. Well, we'll have to check it out, and then we'll do a review on it and let you know. But the one thing I was going to say that I think a lot of people should pay attention to, and this is something for new writers, old writers, whatever. If you're creating a new world and your characters are not new to the new world, the only people new to it are the readers, you don't need to give us all the backstory in issue 1.
Right.
You really don't.
That too.
You don't need to. You can wait until issue 5 to do a little bit, and then you let people talk about things naturally.
To tell us. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it's these people live in this
like
world.
In Spaceballs, them looking at the screen. Everyone got that.
Yeah, everyone got that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. So with this, it was kind of like, you know, putting in exposition on stuff, and some of it, like here, you can see it in dialogue, but you know, like some of his choices, the composition choices that he made, you know, as you read this page, it feels like separate panels each.
Yeah.
And that's just amazing, you know, because it keeps the exposition, although it's pretty heavy stuff he's talking about, it keeps it moving. So that was awesome. I just
you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of when you've got that point in a fantasy movie where you have a guy who's like, oh, in the world that we live in, and then everything gets kind of like smoky as it pans past him, and you start to see like parts of the forest and parts of a castle and parts of these bad guys and these ones, and the whole time he's just talking through it, and then it kind of comes back and you're back in the pub, you know, over beers talking about this shit again.
That's exactly what the feel is supposed to be. Yeah.
That is an incredibly cinematic way to give exposition, where it doesn't feel like, oh my gosh, it's just talking heads and I'm reading about talking heads for, you know, 15 pages.
Yeah, right. There is some dialogue. Oh, you know, it's not just straight action, although there is plenty of action. Now, the 10-page one, that's basically just, you know, 9-10 pages of straight action. So, like, there's constantly something going on. So that's kind of like the more actiony stuff. And although, you know, not to discredit this one, like you already see, there's at least one fight in the story. So it's not all just sitting around in a cafe talking about their feelings.
See, and this is Dave is spot on. Writers should not underestimate the readers. People are smart. They can figure things out as the story unfolds. 100%. Do not underestimate your reader. Like, at that point, it just becomes offensive, and then your reader's like, well, fuck you. They go and read something else that doesn't make them feel like, oh, you must be, you know, 5.
Talking down to them. Yeah.
Exactly.
Writing a book for 5-year-olds. No, you're right.
Yeah. Well, speaking of age, so I kind of wrote this for, you know, teenager, say 13 or more, and like there's no cussing. There is some gory parts, but it's not, you know, predominant throughout the book. So yeah, you know, there's some scenes where people will be like, ooh, that's rough, but otherwise, not a lot of gore, nudity, or cussing. So
nice.
Sorry if that's a deal breaker for somebody out there, but yeah,
probably not. I mean, look, if as long as it still feels natural, then it's not really a problem. It's when people are like, oh, snickerdoodle, and you're like, really?
Well, I couldn't come up with, you know, I know some of those times where people, writers will come up with, you know, what am I thinking of? Slang. They'll come up with slang for their world, and it just sounds
like frack.
You got used to frack.
You did, but the first like 2 or 3 episodes, you were like, bruh.
What the frack?
So stupid. And then after like episode 10, you're like, yeah.
The 4-hour miniseries, it was jarring, but after that, you kind of.
Of what miniseries? What are you talking about?
BSG.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Ronald Moore Battlestar Galactica remake. So, like the pilot, the 4 hours that they did at the beginning, it was jarring for that. But once you got into the episodes, it was alright.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't watch that one. That one was with that chick that plays Bo-Katan, right?
Yeah.
Katie
Sackhoff. Yeah.
I don't know where I pulled that one out of, but yeah.
Shae, she was the actress I was telling you about that video about body symmetry.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very symmetrical body.
She had to train before she went and filmed Another Life in Canada, so that she had symmetry on camera because the body naturally doesn't. So,
as Shae found out by making these 2 armbands, I'm about an inch smaller on one arm than the other.
That's crazy. That's really weird.
It's so weird. I didn't realize
it's
it
natural
until...
because, like, my right arm is much bigger than my left arm because I'm
and that's the weird thing is the arm that is bigger is the arm that I use the least.
Huh.
So it really just means that one arm is getting toned and the other arm is still fat. Shae's got to do some.
I can't disagree with your logic, but now
I have to do some curls. Considering the arm that was smaller is the one that I used in volleyball the most, like that's the only logical conclusion. This one's getting ripped, and this one's a fatty.
It's like Quagmire after he discovers internet porn. He has that one muscly, vascular arm. Yeah.
Wait, what is that? The sun? Oh,
Oh, terrible!
Welcome
All
back
right,
to the real
let's go through your tiers so people know how they can back you, because you have some really cool options, and I want to make sure people are able to get it.
I can't wait to show you some of the cards. They're amazing. So sure. So I guess first we have the digital. It's a PDF of all 44 pages and covers and everything like that. It's $5. Pretty basic. And then here we have the basic one here. That's one book, the PDF, and for now is the early bird card. The early bird card is going away, I think, on Tuesday. So that'll be the end of my first 30 days, and then it flies away. No more.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the next perk is this is the bundle. That's 2 physical books, the PDF, and the early bird card. So that's in case
the one Shae will get.
you want to give one to a friend, or if you want to, put it on your shelf, and beat up the other one. There you go.
Or moody co-host.
Or give it to a moody co-host. And then the best one is the Everything Immortal. That is 2 physical books, a sketch PDF of the 34-page story. That's like the sketch storyboard, so you can see how Jose, does everything and what it looks like.
How he works.
Yeah, and
his brain.
For all the artists out there. And also the PDF version, there's also 2 posters. One is of the cover, and the other is by the character design artist, Steve Whitehead. So, and Steve also did the 2 sets of 4 cards down there. He did one, or he did them in 2 different styles. So one is more like a comic book style, and the other one is more like almost photorealistic. So digital painted, but it looks very realistic. And actually, if you scroll down the content page, you can see there they are. So there's the painted photo. Like, it's kind of hard to see on the screen right now, but if you look at their, like, for instance, that fighter in the front, or the cleric in the front, you can see the ruffles in his clothes.
Yeah.
Steve's texturing is next level. So
you know what that looks like to me? This reminds me a lot of like the character selection in a fantasy game or something. Like if you're on the character select screen, it's like, which one do you want to be? Do you want to be the druid or the cleric or the fighter? Right. And you're like, ooh.
Whoa, yeah, for sure. And then that one, the one below it is the comic style. So same characters, just different style. So saturated colors and all that stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So when are you looking to have this fulfilled?
Well, I'm going to run 30 more days. Mm-hmm. And then I guess I'll get my final count of orders and send that to the printer. The printer is here local. Like, I passed by it on my way to work. So I've worked with them before, because I printed out the first version of it. So we've already worked. They're familiar and all that stuff. And then after it's printed out, I would assume that's probably going to take a couple of weeks or something like that. And then I'll send all the boxes over to Critical Blast, because he's doing my fulfillment.
Very nice. Yeah, Critical Blast is awesome for fulfillment.
I think he's going to be pretty big here in the next year or two, because everybody's knowing about him more and more. So it's great. Yeah.
Well, and I mean, he's, there's so many people that are like, I could help with fulfillment. They're like, but I don't want to. And Critical Blast is like, fine, I'll do it. That's it. I got it.
He's he's high IQ, and he's got some wisdom on him too. So it's great working with him. Like, he advised me on my perks. He advised me on my shipping prices and all that stuff. In fact, if you're overseas and you see, you're like, oh, I want to buy a physical book. We have reasonable shipping prices. I believe it's like $10 worldwide. So because that's through Critical Blast. Now, normally it'd be like $30 or something just to go to Canada. Not the case. So any international people out there, don't be afraid to buy the physical stuff.
Yay! That's awesome. So do you have any, like, this looks like it's a very pared down, like, basic first streamlined. Yes. It's a good streamlined first campaign.
Oh, yeah. That was the idea.
Do you have any stretch goals that you're looking at all, or is it
Yes.
for this just?
Well,
Okay.
so I haven't posted it because I really wasn't sure what was going to happen, and I knew I would get some because they're Jose fans, and so I knew I'd get some sales, but I wasn't sure where we'd get to, and if we get to 5,000, I will do up some stickers. So I
Very
think we use Sticker Mule, yeah, and then everybody will get some free sticker or two, so that'll be fun.
Very cool. Very cool.
I'm gonna do the logo as the first sticker. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. Yeah, I like what I see so far. I think that it definitely has piqued my interest. I'm also a massive Jose fan when it comes to his art, which is why I want to punch him. That I'm still waiting on Luminovox. Like, he's killing me with that.
Yes,
Jose.
Yes,
you're
a lot of
killing me.
people are saying that.
You see me? Do you see the blue? Do you look into my eyes? I am unhappy, Jose. I want my comic.
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm trying. Look, if I'm blue with yellow eyes, I gotta capitalize on this while I've got the threat level high, right?
I am so intrigued by your look.
Good to see you, Edwin. I think Edwin will be on my show Monday. I think that's what we're doing. So.
Nice. Edwin's good peeps. We like Edwin around here.
Yeah, we've had him on 2, 3, 74 times.
Yeah, like a bajillion. It's fine. I still have the Ace mask that's in the box over here.
Oh, thank you, Darkside. I appreciate it. So the graphic design of all this is Chris Fisk. He did
very nice.
Tale. Yes, he's great in the graphic art. I mean, I don't know why he's not known more because he's amazing. So.
Because Chris, like most artists and skilled creatives, is shit at branding himself and promotion.
Mm-hmm.
Love you, Chris. Terrible at promoting yourself.
I'm clipping this and I'm letting him know. So
You should. Chris, you're awesome and you suck at promoting yourself and do better. Shae expects better.
Shae expects better.
Blue-skinned, yellow-eyed, white-haired Shae expects a lot better. I feel sassy. I'm gonna call everyone out.
I love the way that I love that you chose the Empress. That is so terrific.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm fucking digging it. It's really fun, and I got some really cool pictures. I'm gonna mess with them and send you off some so you can have your fun with them. But yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so originally that headpiece is supposed to be based on like Mongolian, I think it's a Mongolian queen or princess or something. So it's pretty cool.
This headpiece is a pain in the ass. Like a massive pain in the ass.
Beauty is pain. So
so much.
Not that I would know much about that, but
that's exactly what I told her while she was bitching.
Verbatim.
Yeah,
verbatim.
Beauty is pain. Remember.
Pain. I love it.
Terrible.
Oh yeah, so on the campaign page, my first week going through, I was like, damn, I don't have a bio on any of my characters. So I put this together. This is the main story, the 5 characters from the main story. Gives just a quick breakdown of their personality type and what's going on in the story for them. So it's pretty cool.
That is very, very awesome. I like getting the little like inside peek to what the characters are like. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, well, because like I can sell this huge epic story and all that stuff that all the fantasy nerds love, but I was like, what I can't seem to do easily is describe who the characters are. Well, so how about I just do this? I'll set it on the campaign page so people can read it and just know, instead of me trying to eat up time, reading it or saying it or whatnot. So yeah, it's pretty good.
So the linguist in me has to ask, did you look up this name for a meaning reason, or is this it just sounded good?
So Muhammad bin Fadlan is actually so I give a lot of nods to books and video games and stuff like that has influenced me and other people on the table. So that was actually this is based on a tabletop game that we did. And Muhammad, that is his name, and that is actually taken from Eaters of the Dead by Michael Crichton. It's
Okay.
or 13th Warrior, the movie, yeah, with
Very
Antonio
cool.
Banderas, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I love how the campaign looks. I think it's a strong start, and I think that it's definitely got a lot of cool potential in places where it
Yeah.
might go.
Yeah.
Sai, do you have any other questions or anything for our awesome guest?
I don't know if this was said because I do lag quite a bit where I'm at right now.
Sure.
But when is the book actually being fulfilled?
After the campaign and I get my numbers of sales, I will send that to the printer who is in town. Like I passed
Awesome.
him on my way to work. So, and I've worked with them before, but I will give that to them right away. And I assume they'd be printing it out, in a couple of weeks or something. So, and then all of that will, as soon as I get all that, the proofs and all that stuff, I will be sending that to Critical Blast. So.
Awesome. So we can assume in the next several months.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I don't want to give an exact time because I don't know, but
No,
I would
obviously.
say 3 or 4 months. Is what I would
Very
Well,
say.
yeah,
cool.
and getting the proofs, you might notice something that needs to be fixed. So that can affect the turnaround too. But yeah, that's good to hear that it's not like, oh, in 18 months.
No, and also, like I was saying earlier, issue 2 is like 95% done. So
awesome.
I had him do issue 2, and then I was like, damn, I need issue 1 redone by Jose. So that's where we're at. So issue 2 is 95 done, needs like final edit kind of stuff, and then I anticipate launching that one probably at the end of the year. So I would like to do 2 a year. And anything above cost on this one is going to make issue 3. So there will be 3 of these complete when it's done.
That's awesome. Yeah, I really hate the delay between 1 and 2. It's like I worked on 1 for 5 years, or I've been writing it and tinkering it with it for 20 years. By issue 1, okay, but then when the fuck am I going to end up with issue 2?
When does issue 2 come out? Because I ain't waiting another 20 years.
Yeah, about 2 years from now. No, I wanted to avoid that, and just the way things worked out, that's the way it's going to be. So
That's
I was
awesome.
hoping, especially with Jose's quick turnaround and quality and all that other stuff, I'm hoping that if I can generate enough cash to get it started, the third one started, and then the second one will finish paying for the third one, then I could have that third one by, June of next year, launching it then. So I would like every 6 months, I'd like to be launching a book would be ideal, but we'll see.
Very cool.
Yes. And there will be at least 3 to this. This is because I wrote it as one story in 3-act arc. And after that, if I can get to number 4, I will feel that I have accomplished something. So this is just the beginning steps on this IP and brand and all that stuff. So yeah, so jump in now.
Nice.
Help me out.
I'm a jackass. I normally download the trailers so I can play them at the end, and I did not download your trailers, so we're gonna do this a janky way,
Cool.
and I don't care.
It's usually how I do it.
But I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to Red Valkyrie. Also, just throwing this out there, there's another little channel that's floating around called By Gaslight over on YouTube and bygaslight.com. It's all about my cosplays and my my artwork. So feel free to go give that like a little subby sub and, check us out.
And follow you on Twitter. So
And follow all of us on Twitter. All 3 of us on Twitter. So many of us.
Maybe
I
if
really
you
like seeing
decide
your
to sub
cosplay.
to her, Dami Mommy Shae will step on you.
So not a thing. We're going to play the trailer and make sure that you go and check out this awesome comic. The link is in the description. And we will see you guys next time.
Wait.
Oh, wait.
Take pictures of your feet in that costume, and then we'll be millionaires.
No.
Just kidding.
Definitely not doing that. All right, guys. We will catch you later. Enjoy. There it is.